I'm Marissa Gordon. This is The Dog Show. This week on The Dog Show, Hi, I'm Marissa for The Dog Show. I'm here with Matt from Sean Casey Animal Rescue, here with Danielle. So what are some things you can tell us about Danielle?
Well, Danielle is a 6-month-old puppy. They have her listed as a lab mix. So she's got a few different things in there, but as you can tell, she's an absolutely beautiful young puppy. And got some growing to do still. She's going to be probably maybe up to about 60 pounds when she's fully grown. But sweetheart of a dog. And she's doing so well. We're under the 7 train right now, and look at this. She's so calm. It's great.
Yeah, so tell me more about her energy level and her personality.
Right now, she's still a little scared. As you can see, she's trembling just a little bit. But that's to be expected. We're at this big event. There's lots of stuff going on. As I mentioned, the 7 train's coming through. But overall, she's doing really well. Everything's so new and exciting to her and different, so she's getting her feet underneath her. But she's going to be a fantastic pet for somebody.
And is she house trained yet?
Still going to be working on that. She is a puppy, so people have to, remember that she's going to need the house training. And we recommend doing the crate training, which the staff at the shelter can fully explain how to do that.
And how's she doing on a leash so far?
That's going to take some work, because again, she is just a puppy, so she doesn't have any experience doing it. So that's going to be part of the learning process for her and the training process for the person as well, or people that adopt her.
And she's been getting along well with the other dogs?
Yeah, she came in with some siblings, so she has experience, of course, with other dogs at this age. But again, that's going to be a learning experience too, so we don't really know how she'll behave towards other dogs or cats or other pets. But so far, she's doing really well.
And does she have any medical problems?
No, she's been vetted by the veterinarian, which is One Love Animal Hospital, to do an initial check on her. And before she's adopted out, she'll be spayed, have all her shots, rabies shot, dewormed, all that good stuff to make sure she's in perfectly good health. And as part of the adoption, she'll get a free vet visit after the adoption. I think you do it within a month, just to make sure everything's still going really well.
That's great. And is there anything else you'd like to share about your rescue center or adoption?
Again, as you mentioned, it's Sean Casey Animal Rescue, which is in Brooklyn. There's 2 locations. One's in Sunset Park, which tends to have the bigger dogs, and the one in Windsor Terrace, which is on East 3rd Street, where this little puppy Danielle is. And she's available for adoption, of course. The shelter's open every day of the year, 365 days, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website for all the details on all the available animals, including Danielle, is nyanimalrescue.org, or you can always just do a Google search for Sean Casey Animal Rescue.
This is Matt from Sean Casey Animal Rescue. I'm Marissa for The Dog Show.
Hi, I'm Terry Mary, and I'm reporting live for the Dog Show at St. John the Divine's Cathedral, where we are here today for the blessing of the animals. And as you can see behind me, a beautiful German Shepherd owned by one of the public that has come today to have their animal blessed. And the animals are being blessed so that they will live a long and fruitful life. And the theme today is living in harmony with nature. St. Francis Assisi is the one in honor today, and this is the Festival of St. Francis. He was the saint that was the advocate for humans living with animals and living in harmony with nature. Now we have a Shiba Inu named Brando that is going to be receiving the blessing. You can see what a beautiful dog, very well behaved. And earlier in the day, there was a beautiful celebratory mass with a procession of animals, big and small, all types of creatures. We had camels and llamas and alpacas, tortoises, owls, you name it. I think I saw it today. I even saw a fruit bat. But they were all getting blessed up at the altar by the Bishop of New York, Bishop Dietschy. He was here today, as well as the presiding reverend over today's ceremony here at St. John the Divine on Amsterdam. Behind me going on are many vendors, different types of activities for the public to enjoy. Just a wonderful, beautiful day. Bring your pet out if you'd like. And we hope to see you here. This is Terry, live for the Dog Show. here with Bambi and Ted from the Sanctuary for Animals, and they provided all the wonderful, beautiful, exotic animals that we saw in the procession today at St. John the Divine. And can you tell us, Bambi, a little bit about the animals?
Yes, well, Ted has been, I think, the blessing for 9 years now, and he enjoys it. He's been very, very good. And then his other big animal that was with him today was Pat, the ox.
I saw the ox, yes.
And then we had an angel, because they had a bad experience with horses many years ago. So then they cut horses from the interview. I mean, from the procession, because they had a bad. And I said, Angel is the best senior horse in the world, and he was very, very good today. The donkey was a little bit out of his. He was like, oh. A little bit nervous today.
And I saw tortoise too.
Yes, Oscar the tortoise. Oscar's been here. Oscar's been, and he doesn't walk very fast, so we get his dolly to help the car, bring him up and down the aisle.
Okay. Ted, you're a ham. You're a ham. Apparently, Ted likes cookies and is waiting.
He hasn't had a cookie all day, and now he's been standing still and been very, very good. And now he's like, cookies, or get in the truck so I can have my lunch.
Tell us a little bit about the sanctuary.
Well, we're a permanent home for over 600 animals. We don't breed them or sell them, and everybody, the animals that can do promotional things, movies and commercials, or come to St. John the Divine for the blessing of the animals. They'll do that. We have 20 camels at home that we don't take off the farm because because they've been scared, they've been overworked, they've had a horrible life.
Yeah.
And Ted is a spoiled brat, as you can tell, and it's all about Ted. So when he comes to St. John, he's like he feels comfortable walking up and down the aisle. We don't want to have an accident. We want everybody just to be comfortable with their handlers as possible. And we walk up, and it's a nice day for everyone, and the animals get blessed.
Yeah, the animals get blessed.
Sometimes we have a couple of animals that have health issues that I put in the car, just put in the car, and I don't know whether I don't know why I do it, but I find myself doing it, and I think it makes a difference in the year. Actually.
Well, no, it's obvious how much you care about the animals, and the sanctuary is so wonderful.
And that's why we do this, is for the sanctuary. It's not that we're animal providers or animal trainers or animal anything. I always say I'm a lazy trainer. I coexist with them pretty well, and all the money that anybody donates to it goes back to the sanctuary. 100%.
I can honestly say I've never been kissed by a camel before, so this is an interesting day.
Cookies. And we got up at 6 o'clock this morning, so he's out a day already.
Well, thank you, Bambi. It was great talking with you, and
us.
we really enjoyed watching all the animals today in the procession.
He's like, everybody else is in the truck. He's like, why don't I?
Yeah, Ted wants to go home.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Ted.
Hi, I'm Marissa for the Dog Show. I'm here with Rachel from In Our Hands Rescue and Bella. So Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about Bella?
Bella is a 3-year-old German Shepherd. She came from High Kill Shelter in Miami. We pulled her out before she was on the euthanization list, and we pulled her out before that. She was highly emaciated when she arrived. She weighed probably, I think, only about 40 pounds, which is not very much for what she should weigh. And she has gained some weight back since then. But we think she's also a purebred German Shepherd. We don't have the proof. We don't have the proof of that, but she doesn't have any characteristics of other dogs that we can tell, so we're pretty sure she's purebred.
Wow. And does she have any medical problems?
Not that we know of. She seems perfectly healthy. She's been gaining the weight back, which is always a good thing, and she's had all of her shots, and she's already spayed.
That's great. And can you tell me a little bit about Bella's personality and her energy levels?
Bella has kind of a pretty typical German Shepherd personality. She's got energy when she walks. She's great with kids. She loves kids. She had her foster had some young relatives visit, and when the kids left, she cried at the door for them. So she's great with kids. She's good with other dogs, and she's a little too curious about cats, so she probably shouldn't live with one.
And now, is she house trained?
She is not 100% housebroken, but she's great with the crate training. So she's 100% in the crate. She's still working on the house training. She was not house trained at all when she arrived, and she's gotten a lot better.
Oh, that's great. So she's a fast learner.
She is.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the adoption process or your agency?
So with In Our Hands Rescue, there's an application, a fee, and a contract. We don't make a profit. The fee covers all the medical that was done, and if there's anything left over, it goes towards saving more dogs. The application is on our website, so people can fill it out there or at one of our adoption events. We do reference checks on the applications, and then once we get things approved, we'll finalize the adoption with somebody, and then they can take the dog home.
Great. And now I know your agency isn't a traditional brick and mortar agency. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Sure. So we don't have a shelter. We don't have a location. It's all fosters. We're a network of fosters throughout the 5 boroughs of New York and Jersey. It's hard when we pull dogs because we need to know that they have somewhere to go. We don't have a shelter where we can just stick them, and we would love to have more committed fosters who are willing to work through any issues that we might have with the dogs. It's tough sometimes when we have fosters who say they're going to take a dog and then they don't show up, or people bail on us after a day or two and don't give us any warning because we don't have a shelter and there's nowhere for them to go. So if that happens, they end up in one of our houses, which is fun for a few nights, and then we already have a lot of dogs in our houses. So that's basically it.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm Marissa for The Dog Show.
I'm Terry with the Dog Show, and we are here today at St. John the Divine Church for the Blessing of the Animals. This is the 30th annual Blessing of the Animals here in honor of St. Francis of Assisi, who was the advocate for harmony between humans and nature. And we're also here with Reverend Patty Welch today, who participated in the ceremony. And tell us a little bit about today's message.
Well, we want to be reminded through the example, the legacy of St. Francis, of the beauty and magnificence and also the fragility of God's creation. And Francis was someone who was really the first one to remind us that you could see the presence of God in all things, that light of God, that creativity of God, the incredible love of God through not only the two-leggeds like you and me,
Right.
but the four-leggeds and the wingeds and the finned, and also in the eight-leggeds and the crawlies and the wigglies, and trees and mountains and just the beautiful land. So Francis was someone who not only preached to the people, but as legend says, he preached to the birds and he preached to the animals, and he reminded them that they were loved incredibly thoroughly by God. And so it was a beautiful message that we wanted to remember today, that we're all in this together.
Yes, and I was very impressed with the sermon today about extending ourselves as ambassadors and as having a role to play with the climate. And with the climate march, he brought that up from the climate march from last week. So how do you feel about the environment and how this all ties in, this ceremony?
Absolutely. Francis, some people call him the first environmentalist because he did bring that awareness of nature to the people in his day in the 13th century. He was the first one really to stop and say, look around you, pause. It's not about accumulation. It's about looking at what you have now and what God has given to us, and we need to take care of it. And absolutely, the Climate March is a very important part. Had he been here,
yes,
he would have marched.
Yes.
He would have been there leading the fray.
No, it was a beautiful day, and you could tell that the animals almost seemed at peace. There was absolutely no noise, no barking, nothing going on between the animals. It was very joyous and quite a celebration with the dancing and the singing. So
it was great. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Reverend Welch, for being with us today. Again, this is Terry, and you are watching The Dog Show.
Hi, I'm Marissa for The Dog Show. I'm here with Matt from Sean Casey Animal Rescue and the dog Gwen. So Matt, tell us a little bit about Gwen.
You bet. This is Gwen. She is our 4-year-old pit bull mix. A lot of people think she looks a little bit like Petey from the Little Rascals, which is pretty funny. She's an absolute sweetheart, definitely a volunteer and staff favorite. Hard to believe she's still available for adoption, but she is. Extremely affectionate, loves to give kisses. She's fun to walk, a real sweetheart of a dog. A beautiful dog, too, as you can see.
Is she house trained?
As far as I know, she is. That may require some more work when she gets into a new home, just because it's a new situation. But from what I've seen as a volunteer, it does appear that she is house trained.
And how does she do around kids?
I have limited experience there, but she has been to a lot of these off-site adoption events where there are a lot of kids, a lot of commotion going on, and as you can see, she's extremely gentle and calm and takes it all in and just carries on being super affectionate and loving.
And does she have any medical problems or special needs?
Doesn't seem to be so, and she's been fully checked out by the veterinarian One Love Animal Hospital. And before she's adopted out, of course, she'll be spayed, get all of her shots, rabies, dewormed, flea and tick treatment, all that stuff to make sure she's in perfect health. And as part of the adoption, there's also a free visit to a veterinarian that you get to do just to take her again to make sure everything is going well.
So what else can you tell us about the adoption process or the Sean Casey Animal Rescue Center?
Probably the most important thing I can give you is the website, which is nyanimalrescue.org, Sean Casey Animal Rescue, which is in Brooklyn with 2 different shelters. One's in Windsor Terrace, where the sweetheart Gwen is for adoption, and there's also a location in Sunset Park. Adoptions are done 365 days a year, all kinds of animals available for adoption. And one thing you might be interested in, if people are interested in volunteering, one thing you can do anytime is walk dogs. You go there, fill out a form, and you can walk dogs that same day, get to know dogs that you might want to adopt that way as well. So it's pretty cool.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Thanks, Gwen.
I'm Marissa for The Dog Show. That's our show for this week. You've been watching The Dog Show. I'm Marissa Gordon.